Okay, everyone, let's get it started. I will call this meeting to order now, and I'm Iza, the chairperson for today. Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Thank you for being here today. Just a quick self-introduction before we begin. I am Nur Isa Zuhaira binti Mohidin, the chairperson.
Hi, my name is Hana Amira, and I will be the secretary and one of the solution analysts for this meeting today.
Hi, my name is Inta Ardini binti Yahya as the Impact Assessor.
Hi, my name is Hanis Aisyah binti Muhammad as a resource planner.
Hi, my name is Ainul Hasbi binti Ajmasidi, and I am also a solution analyst.
So, today we will be discussing the problem that was brought about to the Student Innovation Unit entitled Adaptation and Culture in Global Environment, which is related to cross-cultural communication and global mobility among students. Before we move on, I'd like to quickly go over today's agenda. Our main goal is to come up with the best solution for the challenge mentioned just now. We will start by sharing ideas and then discuss which solution works best and finally make a decision together. Are you guys okay with that?
Okay,
Yes, we are okay.
Okay.
Let's get started, shall we? Now, I would like to invite each one of you to share one proposed solution by the students to address the challenge in adapting and culture shock in global environment. Can we start with Hanis first?
Alright, so as we know, adaptability, cultural understanding, and effective communication are essential skills for students to thrive in diverse and global environment. However, students nowadays struggle academically, socially, and emotionally to develop these skills due to miscommunication, which can create tension and reduce engagement. This challenge limits the student's ability to thrive in an international setting. To bridge the gap between student preparation and real-world expectation, I like the idea of a comprehensive educational curriculum that combines training modules, workshop, practical exercise, simulation, and online resources to equip students to adapt and thrive in a global environment. This approach gives students guide self-interaction and prepares them to confidently face real-world challenge abroad.
Thanks, Hanis. That was very clear. By the way, Hannah, can you please share your opinion regarding this solution as a solution analyst?
I think this solution is realistic for universities to implement. Many institutions, including UKM itself, has already run soft skill and international programs, so adding workshops, simulations, and online learning is achievable. Students will also get a safe space to practice communication and cultural skills before facing real global environments. This approach is also a good initiative to make students more confident, adaptable, and emotionally prepared with regular practice. However, the main challenge for this would be ensuring enough resources, such as trained facilitators and proper funding.
Thank you for your opinion, Hannah. Next, I'm gonna pass it to Intan. Can you walk us through the next proposed solution, Intan?
Okay, Iza. So I propose we follow the students' idea about a student-led initiative called Culture Connect to address the isolation and quiet struggles faced by students who feel they don't belong or fear being misunderstood. The solution consists of three integrated parts, which is an intercultural network, that pairs new students with trained buddies to provide a friendly face, community cultural circles for small weekly meetups in a judgment-free space, and cultural experiences like food nights to bring people together naturally. Because this program is powered by students rather than formal lecturers, it is a low-cost, sustainable way to build real human connection every semester.
Thank you, Intan. Hasbi, in your opinion, are there any pros and cons in this solution?
Okay, so from my point of view, Intense Culture Connect solution has several strong advantages. One major advantage is that trained bodies provide direct human support, which helps reduce loneliness and culture shock among new students. It creates a safe space for students to ask questions without fear of being judged. And because it is student led, it is cost effective and sustainable. However, one possible limitation is that not all students may feel comfortable opening up immediately, even with trained buddies. The effectiveness also depends heavily on the commitment and the quality of the volunteers. Without proper guidance, the impact might vary between groups.
All right, thank you, Hasbi. Hannah, you're up next. Can you share your thoughts on this issue?
Sure. As mentioned by the students, I would like to highlight a key issue affecting diverse communities, especially newcomers. There is a clear lack of public awareness and understanding of different cultural experiences. As a result, many newcomers experience culture shock and often feel misunderstood or isolated. This issue also limits emotional connection between communities, reducing empathy and inclusion. To address this, I like their idea where they propose a solution that focuses on authentic storytelling through multimedia campaigns. Instead of telling people what is right or wrong, we aim to share real life experiences that people can relate to emotionally. NGOs can collaborate with individuals to highlight genuine stories of adaptation, struggle, and resilience. These stories would be shared through social media and digital platforms, allowing us to reach a wider and more diverse audience in a cost effective way. By focusing on lived experiences rather than moral judgment, the message becomes more human, engaging, and impactful. This approach will help foster understanding, empathy, and a more welcoming environment for individuals experiencing culture shock. Eventually, it will contribute to building a more empathetic and inclusive global community where diversity is not just accepted but truly understood.
That's a great approach, Hannah. If this solution is implemented as a resource planner, what is your plan, Hanis? Tell us briefly.
As a resource planner, I see this solution as highly feasible and strategic because it mainly uses existing resources. Other than that, combination of multimedia campaigns, digital platform, and NGO collaboration can maximize reach and impact to a broad audience. By focusing on authentic storytelling and emotional engagement, this solution creates meaningful, cost-effective outreach that foster empathy, inclusion, and support for newcomers. Overall, this approach is realistic, cost-effective, and sustainable for implementation. That's my view as a resource planner. How about you, Iza?
In my opinion, I will go with this one particular solution proposal where students mention that we as Student Innovation Unit should focus on helping the student cope with culture shock by prioritizing mental health and self-care during adaptation process. Instead of only learning about cultural difference, we encourage simple daily habits such as exercising, journaling, and practicing mindfulness to manage stress. Surely, at the same time, we as Student Innovation Unit should support this by including self-care awareness in orientation programs and organizing stress management workshop to counseling and providing access to counseling and support groups. By doing this, individual can stay emotionally stable, adapt more smoothly to new environment, and perform better in their studies within multicultural setting. What do you think about my proposed solution in time? Share with us from an impact assessor point of view.
From an impact assessor's point of view, this proposal is highly effective because it addresses the internal emotional resilience required to overcome culture shock, perfectly complementing the social framework. So, while focusing on external belonging through the intercultural network and circular circles, this approach ensures students have the mental stamina to engage with those programs by focusing on daily habits like exercise, journaling, and mindfulness to manage stress. By integrating self-care awareness into orientation and providing access to counseling, we move from just offering social events to providing a holistic safety net that keeps students emotionally stable and academically productive during their adaptation process. This combined approach maximizes impact because it tackles both the quiet struggles of isolation and the psychological stress of a new environment, ensuring every student has the tools to thrive in a multicultural team.
Noted Intan. Last but not least, I would love to hear from Hasbi.
Okay, so for my solution, I propose we follow the student's idea about a mindset-based approach called the pause method. This solution focuses on helping students manage culture shock internally by changing how they respond to unfamiliar situations. Instead of reacting immediately, students are encouraged to pause, delay judgment, and reflect before responding. Cultural differences are reframed as opportunities to learn rather than problems. By approaching new experiences with curiosity instead of criticism, students can reduce misunderstandings and emotional stress. This method also emphasizes patience and flexible thinking, allowing individuals time to adjust while countering the brain's natural preference for familiarity. What makes this solution effective is that it is simple, zero cost, and universally applicable. It can be used in classroom, workplaces, cross-cultural interactions, and even personal growth.
Thank you, Hasbi. Hannah, do you have anything to comment?
In my opinion, the pause method is a strong idea because it focuses on how students manage culture shock internally, which is often ignored. It is simple, realistic, and easy to use in everyday situations. Since it does not require money or special resources, it can be applied by anyone in classrooms, workplaces, or daily interactions. Encouraging students to pause, delay judgment, and reflect helps reduce emotional stress and misunderstandings. Reframing cultural differences as learning opportunities also promote curiosity, patience, and flexible thinking, which are important in cross-cultural environments. However, I think there is one limitation. Students may struggle to apply this method consistently, especially in stressful or emotional situations. Without guidance or practice, the idea may remain theoretical rather than becoming a habit. Maybe we can strengthen it by pairing it with short training sessions to help students practice this method.
All right, that's the wrap of our first agenda. Now let's move on to our second agenda. This time, I'd like everyone to point out which solution do you think is the best and why. Hanis, let's start with you again.
Okay, so for me, I choose the self-care solution because adapting to a new culture is ultimately an individual experience. By practicing self-care, such as exercise, journaling, rest, and mindfulness, students can take personal responsibility for managing stress and building resilience on their own. This can make them cope better with the emotional challenge of moving to a new country.
Thanks, Hanis. Intans, what your choice?
Hanis, while I understand that individual resilience is important, I respectfully disagree with focusing only on solo self care. As I thought before, the biggest danger of culture shock is that students end up isolating themselves because they are afraid of being misunderstood. If we ask the student who is already feeling lonely to handle everything on their own, we might actually increase their stress instead of helping it. So I believe the intercultural network is the better solution because it provides a trained body who act as a direct support system. Instead of a student struggling alone, a body provides that one friendly face that can change everything by giving immediate guidance and connection. This moves the responsibility from the individual to the community, ensuring that no student has to face their quiet struggles in silence.
All right, noted. Hannah, what do you think is the best proposed solution mentioned by the students?
I agree with Intan's point. I believe the intercultural network stands out as the most effective approach because it offers structured person to person support through a trained body system. Rather than leaving students to navigate cultural challenges independently, this approach ensures they have someone approachable to guide them, answer questions, and also help them feel connected. Sometimes having a single reliable point of contact can really ease the adjustment process. This approach promotes inclusion and reassurance, making sure students receive support early instead of struggling quietly on their own. So I choose the buddy system.
Hasbi, how about you? Which solution do you think we can implement as student innovation unit?
Okay, after our discussion earlier, I believe the proposed solution that I chose is the best, which is the pulse method. It is because it directly targets the root cause of culture shock, which is how individuals mentally process unfamiliar environments. While external support systems are helpful, adaptation ultimately depends on a person's mindset. The pause method empowers students to regulate their emotions, think more openly, and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting based on stereotypes or assumptions. Since this approach requires no financial resources, training, or technology, it can be practiced by anyone, anywhere, and at any time. This makes the solution sustainable, practical, and impactful in the long term.
Thanks everyone for sharing their view. Based on what we have discussed, it looks like most of us agree that the trained bodies initiative is the best option. This solution stands out because it addresses adaptation and culture shock in global environment effectively, while also being realistic and achievable for students. So, unless anyone has strong objection, we will go with trained bodies initiative as our final decision.
I agree with the decision.
I agree too.
I agree too.
Sorry, I have something to say. For me, I still think my proposed solution is the best, which is the pulse method. But because of the majority voting for the train body solution, I will get along with it. Because the solution that all of you chose is still a good method to try.
Okay, decision confirmed. Before we end, does anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? Any other business?
No.
No.
All good.
All right, if there's nothing else, we will wrap up the meeting. Thank you everyone for your ideas and cooperation today. That's the end of our meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, everyone.